Is the media at this point out of touch with the public about COVID?
A lot of the media does seem, when I look at it and then travel the country, to be very out of touch with people. I mean, if you travel the country, people are not really living in the same bubble that it seems that most of the media is messaging toward. If people are tuning out what's going on in cable news, if we're not messaging toward the general population, they're just, ignoring everything and living their lives, and we're not really getting the information that they need to them.
The CDC has turned into a punchline. It is so sad, but it's true. The CDC has turned into a punchline. Watch.
All of this mixed messages or new messages has led to a meme on social media poking fun at the CDC's advice. Tweets like, CDC now recommends eating straight off the floor at Waffle House. The CDC now says it's in fact okay to eat Tide Pods. The CDC says go ahead and get bangs. It's amusing. People letting off steam, of course, but is there a larger credibility problem with your agency right now? And how significant is that in the midst of a pandemic?
We at the CDC are 12,000 people who are working 24/7 following the science.
Should I get bangs?
I'm sorry.
I'm just kidding.
I think you look great how you are.
All right.
There's a huge credibility crisis for the CDC. And Oliver, to your point, it just causes people, if they hear all these mixed messages and all this confusion and it's all too complicated, they just move on and ignore it.
We are supposed to be getting information, I think, to these people. And so when we are messaging toward a very small group of people, maybe who are taking the pandemic far more seriously than the average person, I think we're not doing our jobs as effectively as we should be doing.
If doctors and public health officials don't check their own anxieties, their own fears, and take a moment to reflect on how they are messaging and how they are potentially doing harm by, again, sharing fear-based messaging, then we really, really should take a break. Because, look, doctors are people, too. We're seeing a mental health crisis among healthcare providers as well.
The reality about learning to live with COVID, we have to focus on the living part.
We have to learn how to live with COVID, which is not equivalent to saying, let it rip, don't protect the vulnerable. We absolutely need to do everything we can to protect the vulnerable. But remember, Brian, vulnerability means many things. It can mean a vulnerability to depression and isolation. It can also mean a vulnerability to COVID-19. We need to be broad in our messaging and inclusive and honest.